And both players are ready, so let's start the next game behind Sodium or about a Tetris point. Sodium here. Sodium getting quite high, needs something to burn, doesn't get the TPS over, doesn't get the next bar over. More single does it. Single has been achieved. Sodium doesn't get the next LPs over to the left here on level 29, which means topping out at 988. Burns to stay in, getting the bar and Tetris to Andy. And Sodium, please get out of no! That horrible. Especially OPs here for Sodium.
2B action. Hydrant's last chance to have a shot at the playoffs. Let's see if he can make it happen. In 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Also, this match was a bit of a treat because we get a couple players that have done some Tetris firsts. Starting on the left. The boy that broke Tetris. Roller out of the United States. He has an NTSC PB of 18,203,000. Welcome in, Blue Scuti. Of course, his claim to fame. First player to crash the game. And over on the right. Also rolling out of the United States with an NTSC PB of 2,364,000. Welcome in, Hydrant Dude. And of course, we see them all the time now. But back when Hydrant Dude rolled over the game for the first time, no one else had done it. So a couple of Tetris pioneers facing off here. Right now, it looks like it's a triple versus other clears, separating the players in favor of Hydrant. Scuti has a T-spin setup, gets the T, gets a spin. Ooh, oh my god. Wow, Tetris for Scuti. And only a double to clear out that mess, wow. Good recovery. Hydrant playing one row up. We'll bang down a Tetris here. Scuti, couple tuck setups. Nope, doesn't get the right pieces, so just has to burn it away. Hydrant's going to take advantage of this and get a little bit of a lead here, about one Tetris. Scuti playing it safe. It does eventually get the bar. Meanwhile, Hydrant, a bit of a mess. Can open up the right side just in time for the bar. That square comes chonking down the right side of the screen and just gonna burn that away. And Hydrant now. Let's see what he chooses to do here. It's just going to go ahead and clean it up and go back right well. Oh, I love that J placement, that adjustment for the square. Covering the well, but giving that square a place to live. Unfortunately, the following pieces didn't really come in cleanly, but it was a very good idea. Ooh, double flip into a misdrop. He tried to recover, but couldn't quite get the piece over in time. So Scuti will take advantage of that. He's got the lead, 360 to 326. And Hydrant will go back to playing one row up. Ooh, interesting. He's just going to burn this down, looks like. Playing it safe early on. Scuti's left not built up very well, but gets the bar. Long bars make everything okay. Another Tetris for Scuti, 474 to 355. We're almost at the 100 line turn. This is a unfortunate series of tuck setups here for Hydrant, and it does not work out the way he was hoping, but he will get a Tetris at the very least. I thought I considered snapping that S over on the right side. Hydrant's got it opened up. We're at the 100-line turn. Scuti on pace for a mid 600 right now. Tetris for Hydrant. Scuti will bang one down. He's got 4 more to go until transition. Whoa, that's a dangerous spire for Hydrant. You can see he's just has to fill this in. Does it in a minimal number of burns, though. He gets a Tetris. But Scuti is just not relenting. Just needs a bar here. There's the bar. There's a 658 into level 19 for Scuti. Hydrant preparing for level 19. This isn't a terrible transition. 526. Scuti with a massive lead coming out of level 18, but level 19, the great equalizer. Let's find out if Scuti can hold on to this lead or if Hydrant will start cutting into it. Tetris for Hydrant. Another Tetris for Scuti. Hydrant answering back as well. Oh, Scuti getting into a little bit of trouble. Misses a spin. Gonna get a bar down the right side for the Tetris. And this is low enough that he can clean up. But Hydrant now has an opportunity to pull back some points. Depending on how efficient Scuti is here. My God, that S burst. That is not a left side I would ever want to see in my game. Another Tetris there for Hydrant. He gets the 5-tap over. Scuti's going to be out of this in a moment, and I think he's going to go for column 3, and indeed he does. Gets a column 3 Tetris. 914 for Scuti. Oh, things falling apart for Hydrant all of a sudden, just midway up the board. He's going to be able to start working on getting out of this, but oof. That is not an issue you want to be having at this stage of the game. Going to get a triple there. Scuti left well Tetris with the well transfer back over to the right. He's got the max out on 25. Tetris is into 26. 1,040,000 to 770. That is more than a 250,000 point lead for Scuti. Another Tetris for Hydrant. Hydrant bangs down a Tetris. Scuti got some cleanup work to do here. Next bar will not be a Tetris, but we'll bring the board down. Tetris for Hydrant. Scuti's board is climbing here. That was a dangerous bar dependency, but he got the bar pretty quickly. We're about to hit level 29. There's a dirty Tetris for Scuti for the 1.1. Max out's still on the table for Hydrant, so he's not down by nearly as much as he was earlier. We're into level 29 for Scuti. 1,149,000 is the transition score. Hydrant 1 Tetris away. He's actually going to be within 100,000 points. 1,076,000 for Hydrant. Here we go, level 29, or level 30 in Scuti's case, as he's ahead by 11 lines and has a 147,000 point lead. Ah, eat it, Fractal. That was a perfect clear from Hydrant. I like perfect clears. Hydrant, or Fractal doesn't. D on the screen for Scuti. He's ahead again by 250,000, but he's also ahead by 15 lines. So we'll see what Hydrant can get done here. A little bit of a misdrop there for Hydrant, but follows it up with a couple more misdrops, and we'll slow him down a bit, but he's now got a column 9 set up, just needs a bar. Scuti in trouble. Scuti has a long bar dependency on the right. It's not for a Tetris. Does get a double out of it, though. He is at 1.4, Hydrant at 1.1. Hydrant is clean. But at level 34 is running out of time. And oh, these pieces are not good. Drought on 24. Doing all the damage. Ooh, misses the 5-tap there. Hung it in columns 3 and 4, but does get the bar down the right side for some relief. Scuti's got the F. That is a 329,000 point lead for the former 5-time CTL champion. And Hydrant's might... Oh, nice tuck there to save the game. Well, there's really not a whole lot to save at this point as he's down by almost 400,000 points. Scuti has the rollover. He's on level 39, and he's not done. There's level 40 for Scuti. 1,643,000. He'll take game number 1 in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. This is the 4th meeting between these players. They have met twice in CTL prior, back in August of 2023. And of course, the aforementioned 19 match in April of 2025. Both those were 3-1 in favor of Scuti. Also met in a best of 3 at CTWC Philadelphia in 2024, where Scuti took that one 2-1. As we start this one off, Hydrant has yet to burn. Scuti in a bit of trouble here. Very high spire. Has to just knock it down. Left side is not built up here, but gets a pair of J's to solve that problem. Flattens things out in this 24+ drought. It is not done. Almost 30. Bang Tetris for Scuti. And unfortunately, Hydrant covered the well, but there's another long bar shortly thereafter. That is a freaking tower of S's. My God. Scuti is flirting with the top of the board, and yeah, this spire situation for Scuti, this is going to cost him some points. And already Hydrant has a Tetris and a half lead, and that is looking to grow. Tetris for Hydrant. Scuti getting this cleaned up. Needs a bar or an L. Gets the L. Got the right side open up in the middle of another long drought here. This one is more than 30 pieces. Bar does show up for the Tetris. Hydrant has been burning through this drought, so he shouldn't have a problem waiting for the bar. It takes the safety double and then bangs down the Tetris. He's still got the lead, 253 to 248, but now he's got 7 extra lines to work with. Interesting column 4 and 5 situation for Hydrant. But gets a pair of L's to make it okay. Scuti, not happy about something. Could have used that L to burn out there, but chose not to. Yeah, this is just not working out for Scuti at the moment. That long bar clears absolutely nothing. Alright, Scuti finally is clean, and this comes while Hydrant is digging. But Hydrant does have a dirty left well. 6 off the bottom if he can get this. There's the bar. Dirty Tetris for Hydrant. These two players are... they're pushing themselves. Kind of Tetris you like to see. 400,000 for Scuti, 389 for Hydrant, who's back by 5 lines, so it's pretty much neck and neck. Tetris for both players. Level 19 is around the corner. Scuti, where is the Z here? Gets a T. Opens up the right side, and we'll get the Tetris, but precarious board state. Get another Tetris into level 19 at 494. Give you an idea of how suffer of a game this was. Hydrant will go in a little higher at 505. So 11,000 point lead for Hydrant into level 19. And Scuti is still having trouble just getting clean and scoring. Finally is open up. But that's when the drought shows up. 20 and counting. Good flat burn there with the T, and finally gets the bar for the Tetris. A lot of annoyingly long droughts this seed. Had 2 just shy of 30 and 1 that went as far as 34. Hydrant gets the bar for the Tetris. It's still very much a neck-and-neck game. Hydrant not liking what happened there, though. We'll get the Tetris down the right side, but now we'll have to find, hopefully, a T. But doesn't even find that, and now things are kind of getting a little out of control. Gets a T, but... I don't know. This is a mess. Game just not giving him what he needs. It's just... what do you do? Hydrant will get this down as Scuti is still trying to clean up. Finally get something for that left side and just has to plug it yet again. Remind you that Scuti maxed on 25 last game. Oh, the double flip for Hydrant. Gets it cleared, though, and gets the bar over for the Tetris. Good cleanup. Tetris for both players, 738 for Scuti, 684 for Hydrant. Both players will score a Tetris. Ooh, that was a nice adjustment for Hydrant, then misses the Z. And now it's going to be in cleanup mode. Scuti probably will finally take a lead off this, as he'll get a Tetris there. But I don't think it's going to be much of a lead. No, nice dirty Tetris from Scuti. There's a Tetris for Hydrant. The lead is 2.5 Tetrises. The line difference is 2.5 Tetrises. I guess we're still neck and neck. Oh, Hydrant gets the bar for the Tetris. And gets that burnt down. Scuti having to get a tuck there. He'll score another Tetris. He's got one more until the level 29 transition. He's in at 987. Hydrant still has 3 Tetrises remaining with 3 burns. That will not be a 987. We'll get a Tetris there. So Scuti with the lead into 29. One more for Hydrant. Another Tetris for Scuti. He's got the 1.1. Hydrant's in at 942, so it's about a 45,000 point lead for Scuti going into level 29. Scuti doing a little bit of cleanup here. Tetris for Hydrant. This drop of the T, though, is gonna... Oh, nice flat burn. I did not see that. Excellent work from Hydrant. Scuti set up, looking for the bar. Gets the bar, gets the Tetris. He's got the C, 1.2. Hydrant at 1,052,000, so about 160,000 point lead for Scuti. Scuti is way ahead in lines by 2 levels. And another Tetris for Scuti. D on the screen. And things are falling apart for Hydrant. He needs a bar now, needs more than that. He gets more than that. Let's see if it's enough to survive. Needs a 5-tap left. And only goes 4. He's going to be done. 1,072,000. Scuti takes a 2-0 lead. Scuti hangs a couple of bars on the right. Going to be done at 1,389,000. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Interesting start here for Hydrant. It's going to cause some burns early. Eliminating the competition. So Hydrant looking to hang on here. I did mention that that was kind of a last chance for him. If he does not win this next game, then he would have to hope for a wild card spot, because the 3 automatic spots would be out of reach. Yeah, that is a cold temperature. It's not fun. Scuti has decided not to burn this game. And as soon as I say that, of course, you know, he burns. 183 for Scuti, 87,000 for Hydrant. Definitely a story of 2 different openers. Left side not looking too great for Hydrant, but does get a L to take care of some of it. Scuti is very high on the board, 18 high on that left side. I was going to get a Tetris to bring this board down. Scuti's playing this game like he's got places to be. Like, he can't afford to sit around and play a game 4. He's got to go. People need him. Interesting on the J there. Like, is it going to work out? It is the T in the long bar. Damn, Scuti just setting up another Vitz. Like, this efficiency from Scuti makes it look like he's going for like a 1.5 into rather than playing a CTL match. Does have to take some burns there. He is very high up on the board, and Peace is not going to be very kind to him. And with a long bar dependency already on the left side, no way is he going to set up a Vitz there. $10°C. How many Big Macs is that? Whoa, double flip there for Hydrant, but he corrected it in time. And Scuti is just on a pace. Another Tetris for Scuti. That was a ballsy move, make the L dependency. Gets a bar, though, and gets the L. Scuti having to take some burns, though. He's got a 159,000 point lead as we're about to cross the 100 line turn. Scuti getting into his first real challenge of this game number 3. Gets a dirty Tetris, though, to make things a little better. And still looking at potential high 600 here. Another Tetris for Scuti. Hydrant opens up the right side. He'll bang down a Tetris of his own. 3 Tetrises remain for both players. Hydrant has 2 burns to work with. Oh, S-flat moment for Hydrant at the wrong time because the bar was the next piece. Nice triple clear, though. But Scuti's going to be in at 659. Scuti having to do some digging to start the level, though. Maybe an opportunity for Hydrant to find a way to get back into this game and force a game 4. I do not know who WestJet is, so there you go. This is a high board for Hydrant in the middle of a drought. Oh, God. Gets the bar for the triple for some relief, but that was close. He will get this down, though. Some perfect pieces to open up the right side. Bang, Tetris for Hydrant. But instead of reducing the lead, Scuti gets to extend the lead. Setting up a dirty Tetris here. Kind of has to, and will get the dirty Tetris. And we'll go back to the normal right side as they will both score Tetris. It's about a 5.5 Tetris pace lead for Scuti. 200,000 real time. Scuti. In a bit of a drought, high up on the board. Taking the burns. Gets the bar for the Tetris. Hydrant's turn to deal with this drought. It takes a triple. And bang, Tetris for Hydrant. Hydrant with another Tetris. Scuti, bit of a misdrop towards the top of the board. You have to spend some time getting this out. Doesn't take much time. But it has brought the lead down to 144,000 points. But that will change quickly because Hydrant is in a dig of his own now. And Scuti just brings it right back up to 200k like nothing happened. Hydrant trying to be as efficient as possible with this burn. Just needs one more piece. We'll get it. Opens up the right side. And bang, Tetris for Hydrant. Scuti will get a Tetris into the 1.1 here on level 28 with level 29 looming. Tetris for Scuti into level 29 at 1,166,000. Hydrant has one Tetris remaining. I don't know if it's going to be a Tetris. He'll take the double 964, adds a Tetris for the max out. So a 202,000 point lead for Scuti going into the level 29 speeds. And given how Scuti's been playing on 29 today, this could be... That could be it. We'll see what Hydrant can do, though. Since he's got the right side opened up, just needs a bar, but it's not coming, and that's going to be it. Scuti will take it in a sweep. And doing no worse than a 1.3. I'll see what Scuti does here. He's only on level 33. It's another Tetris. .5 on level 35. Still a lot of runway to get some points here. Maybe looking for a tuck, but you get the right piece. Going for column 3. No bar, though. Finally, the bar shows 1.59. Still 5 Tetris is possible. He gets the Tetris into the rollover. Another Tetris. This was 1-5 tap. I could see the other one over. Going for this bar. And we'll go. Hangs the 4 tap. He's still going to get the 1.7, but yeah, gets that one over for the 1.749. Blue Scuti. He's on a mission to get his crown back.
In Yes, Wisdom, Sparooms, here in 3, 2, 1, Tetris, and here it is. Okay, perfect. So we can see both players starting, both players looking like having the same pieces, so that's perfect. And welcome in the chat to Anjing. So yeah, today we have 5 matches, and this is the start. 18, so we can expect the players to play pretty aggressive here, like 600k transitions into 19 definitely are reasonable for routers. We can already see them starting off quite nicely here. Both players got the first 2, now 3 Tetrises without a single burn. So in that regards, nice start here for these 2 players. And we can see Peek now getting 1 more pushdown point than Neko, so we have 6 and 7 pushdown points. So technically the lead is in favor of PK, but I mean it's a 1-point lead. Now we can see that a few burns have also happened. So no longer 100% Tetris rate, it's 86 and 92. Peek having played a few lines less than Neko. Yeah, seeing this kind of makes me wonder if we will ever get a perfect comp game. Like we had one non-perfect comp game. But in comp, that's going to be so seed dependent because you have the SPS and everything like that. Would be interesting to know if that's even possible, I mean. Yeah, point was you can see both players being neck and neck. PK played 2 more lines, now Neko played 2 more lines, and the 2 more lines turn into Tetris, which takes the lead in favor of Neko. But if PK can get a Tetris in that at the same amount of lines, basically, then would put him in favor. Yeah, it's neck and neck. 281, 259, less than a Tetris difference. Slight misappear by PK, wasn't able to tuck the blue Z piece underneath, so has to do a bit of cleanup, which means Neko should be able to get a nice lead in now. Yeah, we can already see 2.5 Tetris lead here now to Neko, whereas PK is playing kinda high and needs to burn a few lines here. Could have tried to go for the dirty, instead decided to play a bit clean, or like trying to get clean at least, and is now potentially setting up for the dirty. Yeah, he is waiting for the bar, but of course the bar takes a bit of time. But here it is, so Tetris for PK open once again, and we can see 4.2 Tetris, or about 100k lead here, in favor of Neko. After about 89, so about 2/3 of level 18. So currently, a bit of a tougher situation. The 4 to 5 Tetrises mean that in this level at least, PK would have to get about 20 lines worth of Tetrises more than Neko, potentially up to 24. Something like that, yeah. It's a nice situation here in game number 1 for Neko, definitely. Next Tetris going to PK, and also one to Neko, so 510, 415. Neko definitely could get the first 600k transition of the day in. That's depend a tiny bit on the long bars, of course, but I mean, at this point, doesn't even need 50k, gets the double tuck, nice. Also a bit of tugging here on PK's side, who once again has his well closed. Gonna force him to burn a few more lines and get in a bit of an ugly stack. Workable stack, but not the kindest. Ooh, and we can see, yeah, one more tuck here for PK. But a few jet dependencies, covered one, turning it into a bar dependency, which is now closed. Elbow bar dependency on the left side now for PK, and the bar of course isn't coming. There's a blowout of both pieces here kind of happening. But yeah, he's solving it without using the bar. And next set is going to Neko. Neko now at 630 versus 480 here for PK. So 150k lead, or over 6 Tetris lead here to Neko. Really tough position here now for PK. Means that he has to catch up quite a lot on level 19 and potentially even 29 speeds. Next set was to both players. 680, 530 transitions here. So nearly a 700k transition for Neko. Some of the highest that you can realistically hope for. Yeah, you can see the Tetris right here. 88 versus 63%. Just a massively efficient game here by Neko. The 19 also is looking clean here for these players, exactly what we expect. Tetris going to PK, Tetris going to Neko. And nice spin here for PK. Whereas on the left side, yeah, simply building up, not going for anything fancy currently, Neko that is. Just playing pretty clean Tetris, not hyper aggressive, not hyper safe. Avoiding dirty situations. Whereas PK just got out of another one. I mean, positively, currently Neko isn't, yeah, as I said, playing hyper aggressive, so the lead stays kinda consistent in terms of the Tetris difference at least. It's now up to about a 200k lead here for Neko, and Neko could get max out in the next Tetris, by the way, on level 24. Level 24 max out possible here for Neko. And level 24 max out for Neko just happened. Huge GG's here to Neko for this early max out. Yeah, this simply shows how amazing of a player Neko is. To get this early from the max out, you need to be in a good condition in terms of your own skill and what the game does give you. That also does apply, of course. And Simul Tetris, already a 1.1 here on level 26. I mean, 1.2 is now easily possible here for Neko into level 29. Both players now in a nice and clean board. And you can see the board counter ticking here at about 20 pieces now. Both players waiting for the bar. Neko being a bit higher, needs to take some safety burns here soon, yet does take them, and Tetris for Neko into one more. So 1.2 against 1, so 200k roughly lead here still for Neko. Next Tetris is happening. Neko gonna transition in one more. Let's see if... okay. He wants the final Tetris to transition with. And we can see, waiting for it, getting it. 1.299, so barely out of the 1.3. PK also transitioned at 1.1, but is in a both players squad for some situations, which means both players top out. And game number one does go to Neko. Countdown here once again. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And we can see Pika here going for quite a lot of pushdown. 55 pushdown points. Normally you only see players push down like the first piece and that's it. But Pika went for much more, which can definitely work out. Yeah, and went for even more. And now Neko also getting a bit of pushdown. Also a Witz is fulfilled here for Neko, 49 against 73, and one more Tetris here going to Neko once again. Of course, if you like what you saw in the last game and you want to support these players, then feel free to check out the match Reno. As you can see in the bottom right, we're currently at about $1,000 US. And the prize pool does go to the top players. So basically the top of Division 1. We are getting close to beating last season's prize pool here. Only about $40 left to go, so nearly achieved. And thanks for the wait to Austin. Currently here one Tetris lead here for PK. So a slightly better start here for PK than for Neko. And definitely much better situation than last game. There was such a strong showing here of Neko in the last game that I would believe it if PK is now in a bit of a mental situation. But realistically, these players shouldn't be. They have a lot of combat experience and definitely know how to handle these situations. Basically just play clean, play aggressive as PK is doing here. A bit over Tetris lead here at about the halfway point. Next Tetris going to Neko. And to be fair, the same lines, the lead is nearly gone as we can see. Now it's down to just a few thousand points. Next Tetris going to PK. So the point lead is in favor of PK, but the pace lead, Yes, neck and neck. Ooh, and nice Witz here for Neko, going for a 4 high Witz here. Which means he's needing one more bar, does get the bar, perfect for the Tetris. And now the pace lead appears to be in favor of Neko potentially. Okay, Neko needed to burn a few lines here. But he has 359, 331, same amount of lines played. Definitely not the pace in favor of Neko here. But still, it's close. Neko now having the point lead for a bit. Close level 18 here. Both players showing us as many Tetrises as they can. At about 80% Tetris right here. Next Tetris going to PK. And also one more here to Neko. Yeah, 451, 451. Half a single difference here between these two players. And PK now wanting the J piece for attack. Does instead get the S piece for spin. And is getting the next Tetris. Bar dependency on Neko side also filled in. So yeah, 19 transition is coming up soon, and to me it looks like the 19 transition is going to be high scoring once again. Next Tetris 2 PK. Nice tuck. Yeah, both players could go for about 3 more Tetrises now. Let's see if they will be able to, or if the, at least to me, more realistic scenario will happen, that there's going to be like a single that they need to burn. But yeah, let's see. Neko is getting the bar. Nice. Tetris. PK is getting the spin and a small burn here. Next Tetris to Neko. Neko transitioning at 619. PK at 616. And transitioning at basically a Tetris lead here. 640, 643 now. But PK played a few lines less than Neko has, which is why he has at least the pace lead. The point lead actually is in favor of Neko, as Neko at that point played like, yeah, 8 lines more, so 2 Tetrises in that regards. Next Tetris here going to Neko. PK gets out of the small drought here using a Tetris, and one more Tetris here going to PK once again. Setting up is set up and getting the bar. Nice. So does Neko. But yeah, this game is really close. Like, both players are about the 80% Tetris rate. And in terms of points, there's like half a Tetris difference between these two players. PK needs to burn a few lines now. Okay, Neko just closed the world. Also needs to burn 2 lines here. Exactly 2 lines. But yeah, if PK needs to burn a few lines at some point that Neko doesn't have to, then Neko is gonna be ahead of PK. Neck and neck. Exactly what we love to see. In pace, it's a 1.5 Tetris lead here for PK, to be fair. But in points, it's definitely not. Next Tetris going to PK. Now it's half a Tetris lead for him. And next Tetris going to Neko. So lead is back for him once again. 1 more to Neko now. 1 more to PK. And we can see PK's Tetris rate slowly but surely decreasing here, whereas Neko's is increasing. And the Tetrises are worth more here on the higher levels. The amount of points you get is multiplied by the level that you are on. So Neko